Content is very cold, I introduce myself. I'm Marco Buemi. I come from Italy. I have a kind of double role here in chairing this session because I work for the European Commission as an evaluator expert for projecting and financing projecting. So I'm the one actually that go through all the projects, European projects, not through all, but in some programs, and I evaluate the projects if they are going to be financed or not to be financed. So I think this is a role as evaluator that comes from my past experience, because I'm in the other side also a project manager. And I work with municipalities. So mainly I work with a lot of municipalities in Italy, but also all around Europe. I've been lead expert for the program Urbact. Maybe many of you knows that is about urban sustainable development for cities. So I think this can be interesting for you, and just to understand a bit which kind of room is this and where you come from. How many people comes from the public sector here? Okay, so 6, 7. And I suppose the rest comes from the private. How many from the private?
PPP, myself.
Okay.
PPP.
Yeah.
A mix.
A mix, okay. So yes, I think it can be very interesting because I have also my two colleagues here, the other two person that will stay with us, Nikita Shetty, that is lead at the Bubble Smart Cities here, and Alis-Daniela Torres, that is senior officer at ICLEI Europe, that really deal with mostly with the private sector. So I think this is a good combination and a good mix-up. So let's start. Saying the idea to organize this came from last year. I was in Helsingborg, in Urban Future Helsingborg. I don't know how many were there, but it was much colder than here, for sure. and I was presenting a project about housing, how to finance housing projects within the municipality, within the city. So it's really related to funding. And they came up with the idea to organize this seminar, workshop, because a lot of people ask me how to get financed by EU, European Union. Okay, so the most important things is which European strategic objective when you write a project fits with the European 2030 strategy, because all the project that you write for the European Commission has to fit with the European 2030 strategy. And sometimes if you don't fit there, you don't get finance. Okay. The second thing is what innovation can I introduce through my project. This part of innovation we will see at the end of my presentation, because it's a part of the evaluation process. Okay, so it's a part that we consider very crucial, because as you know, there are a lot of projects around that have been financed, a lot of projects, so you cannot just copy and paste from other projects, but you have to put something very innovative in your project. And this makes the difference usually to be financed or not be financed. Another very important part is, and we evaluate, is with whom can I activate partnership? Because the partnership are very important to have a balance. Do you know what is the quadruple helix? The quadruple helix is the balance between private sector, public sector, research, university sector, and third sector that is considered the social inclusion sector, where a lot of associations and NGO works. So this combination of quadruple helix, quadruple partnerships, can be very crucial also to be financed in your project. A key element when you start to write a project is, I give you some really interesting insights, because sometimes people start from the program, okay, and see, oh, there is a call for proposal, and I want to apply. Never. You have to start from the project idea. You have to have an idea and then search for the call for proposal to match the idea with the call for proposal. Okay? This can lead to search call for proposal and then to write your project. And the three key elements for a correct approach to write a project are, for sure, the principle of subsidiarity. The European Union never get in when you write a project that is a local or regional, so it's all about you. So it's nothing to do with the European Union. So it leaves really the freedom to write whatever you want to write, okay, without to put any stress on this. Another important part that we evaluate is the European added value. What is the European added value? Is the impact of EU policies. So which impact are your project on EU policies? Okay, so they are really connected. Second is the multiplier effect of your project. Your project maybe will be local developed, but has to be also, spread around the European Union. So more the project is can get multiplier effects, and more is good to finance for us. Okay, so it's not just to be even if it's good in local area, but this has to be implemented or transferred or disseminated as you want, but as a multiplier effect in all European Union. So this is a very important part. And third part is, again, the innovation. Try to put some stimulating idea, even if it's something that's you never thought about or you want to taste firstly, but it's better that you put innovation in the project than have a flat project, okay, that we have already seen so many times. And third thing is the international partnership, as I said before. When you write the project, usually, you have to have the framework approach. It's called logical framework approach. So it's the beginning. If you do this in the right way, your project for sure will be financed. What does it mean? It means that, first of all, you have to read the call for proposal. Why I say this? Because many times, and I give you an example, 10 to 15% of the project that arrive to the European Commission as not eligible because they didn't read the call for proposal, because they are out of scope or there is not eligible for other reasons. Okay, so this part that can be, of course, has to be, done really in the beginning. Once you have the idea of the call for proposal, then you can go to stakeholder analysis to understand which are the best partners for your project or best stakeholders for implement your project. Third part is the problem analysis. You have to start with to solve a problem. The problem has to be localized problem. You cannot solve all the problem of the area or all your region or whatever, or your country, but it has to be a really localized problem. The problem matches with objective analysis. They go together. It's like a mirror. The problem and the objective, they are mirror. And the final part are the strategic definition. So as you see in the planning phase here, the logical framework, as you see, is a kind of matrix where you put overall objective that usually is not something that you have to invent, but is already defined in the call for proposal. And then you have the project purpose. Try to figure out 3, 4 specific objective for you, okay? And then go for that. Then you have the result, and then you have the activities. The results are, of course, the outputs of the project, and then you have the activities. If you do this in the beginning, okay, then you will really proceed quickly. And then it will be very competitive for you to go through this. Sometimes, when you jump from a project to another project, can be, useful to have in mind the matrix. Okay, so I don't know how many projects you do parallelly. I do often 3, 4, 5 projects parallelly, and you have in mind the matrix. The matrix is very important. Something I always say is, once you have the project, you have to communicate the project. Because you can have the best project ever. I saw very beautiful, nice project, but they don't communicate. So the project is just between you and your partners. So it's really crucial in every project to define a communication plan. Okay, so put the communication plan always in the beginning, going through, the network communication objective, the target audience, also the target audience, how you want to target the project to. The key message for the target audience, because they are really different, you cannot use always the same key messages, but you have to change comparison with which target audience you will, take, and then the position and then all the other phases. We go, I think, okay, I'm going to finish this. I think this is the crucial part, okay? When I talk about evaluation. The evaluation is going through relevance, quality, impact. These three, big sections are the section that usually all the evaluator expert evaluate. Going through the relevance, as I said before, we have to see if the proposal matches the priorities of the code, because sometimes it doesn't match at all, so it's out of scope. If you have defined the target groups, if you have a transitional dimension, if you have a gender perspective, because the commission is really keen about the gender perspective, okay, and stress up a lot about the gender equality and perspective in your project. Then the quality is about the consistency of the project, and then we go through the methodology of the project. So organization of the work in the work packages, as you know, the timetable, so the Gantt, the risk management, the monitoring and evaluation, and the financial feasibility of the project. So the project has to be feasible for the, for the activities you do. And the last is the impact. So the ambition and expected long-term impact of the result on the target groups, the potential for a positive multiple factor we talked about, and the sustainability of the results after EU funding. So you have to trace something that can be crucial for your project after the EU funding finish. So the sustainability of the long impacts, sustainability of your project. Okay, so I think this is a bit the evaluation process. The project comes, to the European Commission. The European Commission evaluate and receive the proposal and decide which one are eligible or not eligible. The one that are eligible goes to 2 experts, okay? So 2 evaluators. So me, for example, and another one sitting in Finland or Stockholm, whatever, okay, Sweden. And we don't know each other, and we evaluate just the projects. So just 2 people. Then, when the evaluation is ready with all the, the points for the evaluation, it comes in the role of consensus, a third person that mediate between the 2 evaluations. So if, for example, I put 80 and the other person puts 90 or 85, there is not much difference. But if I put 60 and the other one puts 85 and 90, will be 30 points of difference. In this case, we have to read again the project, trying to see the other evaluation person results, okay? If still we have 2 different ideas, we take the flight, we go to Brussels, and we sit and we discuss, okay? So until now, it never happened actually. So we tried don't fly so much. So, at the end of this panel report, with all the ranking, there is the final ranking list with the approval of the project finance and with some other in reserve list projects, for example, because we finished the money, we cannot give to other 5, 6 projects, then they can be reserved, okay? And they can jump in if the commission give more money or if jump out another project, okay? So this is a bit the path through, of course, could take hours, to explain all the process and the methodology for a right project, but I want to give the floor to my colleague, and then we will have, we will put the final slide at the end for the workshop, okay? So please, Nikita, thank you.
I'm going to just put up my slides, but till then, take the time to fan yourself so that you're not
to drink water.
And to drink water. Just give me